from the provinces?" he asked. "Yes, I am from Rennes. And did you, sir, enter this church from curiosity?" "No, I am waiting for a lady." And with a smile upon his lips, he walked away. He did not find Mme. Walter in the place in which he had left her, and was surprised. She had gone. He was furious. Then he thought she might be looking for him, and he walked around the church. Not finding her, he returned and seated himself on the chair she had occupied, hoping that she would rejoin him there. Soon he heard the sound of a voice. He saw no one. Whence came it? He rose to examine into it, and saw in a chapel nearby the doors of the confessionals. He drew nearer in order to see the woman whose voice he heard. He recognized Mme. Walter. She was confessing. At first he felt a desire to seize her by the arm and drag her away. Then he seated himself nearby and bided his time. He waited quite a while. At length, Mme. Walter rose, turned, saw him, and came toward him. Her face was cold and severe. "Sir," said she, "I beseech you not to accompany me, not to follow me, and not to come to my house alone. You will not be admitted. Adieu." And she walked away in a dignified manner. He permitted her to go because it was against his principles to force matters. As the priest in his turn issued from the confessional, he advanced toward him and said, "If you did not wear a gown, I would give you a sound thrashing." Then he turned upon his heel and left the church, whistling. In the doorway, he met the stout gentleman. When Duroy passed him, they bowed. The journalist then repaired to the office of La Vie Francaise. As he entered, he saw by the clerk's busy air that something of importance was going on, and he hastened to the manager's room. The latter exclaimed joyfully as Duroy entered: "What luck! Here is Bel Ami." He stopped in confusion and apologized. "I beg your pardon. I am very much bothered by circumstances. And then I hear my wife and daughter call you Bel Ami from morning until night, and I have acquired the habit myself. Are you displeased?" Georges laughed. "Not at all." Monsieur Walter continued: "Very well, then I will call you Bel Ami as everyone else does. Great changes have taken place. The ministry has been overthrown. Marot is to form a new cabinet. He has chosen General Boutin d'Acre as Minister of War, and our friend La Roche-Mathieu as Minister of Foreign Affairs. We shall all be very busy. I must write a leading article, a simple declaration of principles. Then I must have something interesting on the Morocco question. You must attend to that." Duroy reflected a moment and then replied: "I have it. I will give you an article on the political situation of our African colony." And he proceeded to prepare Monsieur Walter an outline of his work, which was nothing but a modification of his first article on Souvenirs of a Soldier in Africa. The manager, having read the article, said: "It is perfect. You are a treasure. Many thanks." Duroy returned home to dinner, delighted with his day, notwithstanding his failure at La Trinité. His wife was awaiting him anxiously. She exclaimed on seeing him: "You know that Laroche is Minister of Foreign Affairs." "Yes, I have just written an article on that subject." "How?" "Do you remember the first article we wrote on Souvenirs of a Soldier in Africa? Well, I revised and corrected it for the occasion." She smiled. "Ah, yes, that will do very well." At that moment, the servant entered with a dispatch containing these words without any signature: "I was beside myself. Pardon me, and come tomorrow at 4 o'clock to Parc Monceau." He understood the message, and with a joyful heart slipped the telegram into his pocket. During dinner, he repeated the words to himself. As he interpreted them, they meant: "I yield. I am yours where and when you will." He laughed. Madeleine asked: "What is it?" "Nothing much. I was thinking of a comical old priest I met a short while since." Duroy arrived at the appointed hour the following day. The benches were all occupied by people trying to escape from the heat, and by nurses with their charges. He found Mme. Walter in a little antique ruin. She seemed unhappy and anxious. When he had greeted her, she said: "How many people there are in the garden!" He took advantage of the occasion. "Yes, that is true. Shall we go somewhere else?" "Where?" "It matters not where. For a drive, for instance. You can lower the shade on your side, and you will be well concealed." "Yes, I should like that better. I shall die of fear here." "Very well. Meet me in 5 minutes at the gate which opens on the boulevard. I will fetch a cab." When they were seated in the cab, she asked: "Where did you tell the coachman to drive to?" Georges replied: "Do not worry, he knows." He had given the man his address on the Rue de Constantinople. Mme. Walter said to Duroy: "You cannot imagine how I suffer on your account, how I am tormented, tortured. Yesterday I was harsh, but I wanted to escape you at any price. I was afraid to remain alone with you. Have you forgiven me?" He pressed her hand. "Yes, yes, why should I not forgive you, loving you as I do?" She looked at him with a beseeching air. "Listen, you must promise to respect me, otherwise I could never see you again." At first he did not reply. A smile lurked beneath his mustache. Then he murmured: "I am your slave." She told him how she had discovered that she loved him on learning that he was to marry Madeleine Forestier. Suddenly she ceased speaking. The carriage stopped. Duroy opened the door. "Where are we?" she asked. He replied: "Alight and enter the house. We shall be undisturbed there." "Where are we?" she repeated. "At my rooms. They are my bachelor apartments, which I have rented for a few days that we might have a corner in which to meet." She clung to the cab, startled at the thought of a tete-a-tete, and stammered: "No, no, I do not want to." He said firmly: "I swear to respect you. Come, you see that people are looking at us, that a crowd is gathering around us. Make haste." and he repeated, "I swear to respect you." She was terror-stricken and rushed into the house. She was about to ascend the stairs. He seized her arm. "It is here on the ground floor." When he had closed the door, he showered kisses upon her neck, her eyes, her lips. In spite of herself, she submitted to his caresses and even returned them, hiding her face and murmuring in broken accents, "I swear that I have never had a lover," while he thought, "That is a matter of indifference to me." End of chapter 12. Recording by Martin Geeson in Hazelmere, Surrey.